No.
I got 4 weeks in a row.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Compass Games Town Hall. I'm live here with Bill and Billy Thomas.
There he is, back scratching his back.
No, I wasn't doing that.
You're like on the wrong side. Your camera is like reversed or something.
No,
this is where we always are.
I'm over here.
Okay. Usually it shows you like usually it flips it.
Well, Dad screwed something up.
I don't know what you're saying, but
you're always on the other side, and then the tables are like, never mind. Somebody else will chime in and say if I'm right or not. All right. So tonight's special guest is Mathew Hinkle, designer of the second gen, or the lead of the second gen combat series rulebook, and designer of Paper Wars 114 Record Manor.
That's right.
You told me to turn it down.
First of all, she can hear you.
Now you tell me to turn it up.
Well, you turn it all the way down. No, too much.
God, he's a pain.
There you go.
It's always good to hear, Mike. Okay. I held it like ding sounds over there. All right. Anything that you would like to start with?
No, what you got?
I can start off with Kickstarter stuff.
Looks good.
You get 10 of them. I think it's a pain in the buttocks.
Okay, current Kickstarter.
Oh, yeah.
The Steel Wolves Deluxe Edition. So this is the follow-up to Silent War, designed by Brian Miller and Steven Jackson. This new Deluxe Edition includes the German Fleet Boats expansion. So it's a heck of a lot of content. I think it's anywhere from an hour-long scenario up to 125 hours for the full campaign. So whatever you're feeling like committing to, you've got an option here. Oh, 150 with the expansion. Yeah, 125 for the main campaign and 150 with the expansion. So we've got a couple of good add-ons to go with that. If you're feeling like some more submarine action, you can check out the full rulebook, of course, as always. You can also get Silent War, Sensuicon, and then not submarine, but related, Sinking Yamato. All right, Matthew's already here.
Oh, good.
Might as well get everybody in. Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh my gosh, I love the outfit. Guys.
Hey, Bill, come look at this.
No one's going to want to be the next special guest because they're not going to one up that.
She looks like...
Yeah, I know. Officers.
Yeah, officers of English. And what is that American or English?
American. 82nd Airborne.
Wow,
from the 80s.
Nice.
Very cool. Christoph, yes, the new carrier battle is on pre-order.
Where's your hat?
My hat? I can go get my French helmet from World War II if you really want me to, Bill.
No, they were awful. They're worse than the Italians.
You asked for it.
Oh, look, he's going to get his helmet. I don't think I have anything. I got my baseball glove from high school. Now,
Anyway.
you know what? They have bigger gloves now than what we had.
For baseball.
Yeah, no, you can't believe
Okay.
it.
Voila.
Very cool. Okay, love it.
College phone. Do you understand?
Speaking of the Hinkles costing you money.
The funniest thing. Now this is a show.
This is a show. This is awesome.
It's a very
Or
humorous.
circus.
Yes. Oh, look, they're all dressed
You
up.
want one, Bill. You want one.
Very nice.
All right. Well, I saw one person asking about the timeline for No Peace, so I'm just going to do this while I'm scrolling. No Peace is coming up. So this is up to, I think, what did you say, Bill? Mons is probably the last Kickstarter this year? So it's before the end of the year.
Yeah, but Combat Mons and World Gone Mad are going to be January, February.
Yeah, somebody had asked about No Peace. That's why I was scrolling down. And we have...
Yes.
Huzzah! Combat Vietnam. All right, Matthew, you want to give a little intro?
Yeah, Combat Vietnam. We just finished it all up. I'll have all the files done next week, so that thing's ready to go. Combat Vietnam. We've got U.S. Army, U.S. Marines. We've got ARVN troops, and we've got communist troops. Covers 65 to 72. And so you can do basically any squad level action in that time that you want. Has all the weapons changes that took place during that time, which was considerable. We've got, the bloopers, the M79s, thump guns, whatever you want to call them. We've got PRCs. You can call down artillery fire. We do have armor. The armor is included with it, and armor rules. What else do we have, Ethan? All sorts of new terrain, huts, bamboo, thick bamboo, elephant grass, rice paddies, jungle, tall walls. We've got city fighting in Hue and Saigon. We've got that beautiful hilltop position you're looking at that is the scene of some epic struggles. And there's the city map. So we're using that for Saigon and Hue. Some great fighting in there too. That big compound, you have a scenario where you're the communist trying to take it in the dead of night on January 31st, 1968. And that's a good scenario. Outstanding game. Every scenario is very fun, and it's loaded with new stuff.
That one is now live. It's the most recent pre-order on the website, so it's going to be right on the homepage, or if you search Combat Vietnam. We figured we'd just start with that before people start asking about it. Jeffrey Allen Beeler. That was one of the ones I was able to forward to you earlier.
Yes. Some of these soldiers are pretty vicious, so you could call them tigers. As far as literal four-footed animals, no. I've never once read an account in all the reading I've done of a tiger interfering with a squad level action.
Wow.
How are helicopters handled / factored in?
They're not, for the simple reason that this is a man-to-man squad level action. There is one where your helicopters have dropped you off previous to the action, but that's something that's more appropriate at a larger platoon company scale, not the man-to-man scale here. You can get air support though. There's rules where you can get air support, but as far as helicopter counters, no.
Charles Latorre asked about Aussie troops.
Well, it's a big game. We've got full orders of battle for communists from 65 to 72, U.S. Army 65 to 72, Marines 65 to 72, ARVN 65 to 72. There was a point we had to stop. Those are the three major combatants. We would like to do an expansion at some point with Aussies and ROKs, Republic of Korea troops, because those are the two next largest orders of battle. But you have to draw a line somewhere. You just can't fit it all in.
I don't know if Matthew would actually get that reference.
Obviously not. But you can call any of the characters Dan or Bubba if you want. Actually, Bubba is one of our paratroopers right now.
Bill gets that one,
Republic
right?
of Korea. Those are Korean troops.
Yes.
Tunnel rules. No, again, this is squad level actions above the ground. And we have 11 scenarios to represent stuff that went on for 8 years of war. And so you have to make a choice to stay away from the fringe elements of the war. Yeah, Compass has another game coming out for that sort of stuff.
Yeah, tunnel rats.
Yeah. But there are fortifications, the ubiquitous pillboxes of the Vietnam War.
Anything planned for Paper Wars expansions?
No.
Bill's rubbing off on you.
Yeah, he's going to be like me. No.
All right. Anybody else have any questions on Vietnam before we get to the actual topic of the evening? But I knew you would all immediately see that it was on the website and jump on.
And it's a great game. It's we had a load of fun playing it. Very intensive to design it because we fully made it work within the combat system, and that was one of the things we were concerned about. Will this really work? And yes, it does. It really does. And yet, the Vietnam War obviously had its things that are very different from World War II. But, Ross Mortel made a really good foundational system that we were able to make work for the Vietnam War.
And it also includes another Phoebe novel, right? That was coming out today. Very exciting.
Yes, Phoebe has written a novel about the Vietnam War, and for this special edition to be included in the game, per the magnanimous one, Bill Thomas, there's going to be some bonus scenarios too. So this thing will be loaded.
Jeff asked if there is a campaign game.
In every combat game, there is a campaign game. Yes.
It's the generated scenarios, right?
Yes, with randomly generated scenarios.
Both sides playable.
Oh, absolutely. Always. All of our games, both sides are playable. So you've got scenarios where you're the Americans, scenarios where you're the Arvans, and there's scenarios where you're the communists. Sorry, guys, it's history at this point. So, in fact, the most fun scenario of all is a communist assault on an American hilltop position at night with claymore mines and lots of boom stuff going on. It's very fun. So, yeah, you could be the communist too. Does it have the head-to-head like some of the secondary games? Yeah, and so we have a head-to-head competitive play option, so you can play against one of your friends.
Any plans for Korea?
Oh yeah, we're gonna do a Korean War game. Bill insisted. Said I was fired if I didn't do it, so we're doing it.
Look, they laugh.
All right, so what we're actually here to talk about, theoretically, we'll see how long it lasts, is issue 114 of Paper Wars, Combat the Brecourt Manor Assault. So that is a fully playable combat game in the magazine. You guys don't need any previous games to play it. It's got chits instead of cards, but that's one of the only major differences. And then take it away, Matthew, if you want to introduce.
Yeah, Brecourt Manor, fantastic introductory game for the combat system, and that's really what we designed it or had as the focus for it. It was a project that was passed on to me and Ethan, and we kind of had to burn it down and rebuild it, and we did it in 3 weeks' time. But we're very proud of the achievement because, Ethan had the map done in one day, and he's trying to do school while he's doing this. And then we had to make all the counters. They're 5/8 inch counters because it's a magazine format, but they work just the same. And we had to do our research with it all within that short time frame and get the historical maps. Fortunately, there's actual photographs from June 6th overhead, so we really had good resources to go on. And what I wanted it to be a full combat game. So it's not dumbed down. You get the full series rules. A few of the presentation aspects had to be changed for a magazine format, but it plays the same. So you're not getting cheated by this thing. You get a beautiful map. Two other things we added on that we absolutely had to have was, one, you can play either side. So in two of the scenarios, you're the Americans. In two of the scenarios, you're the Germans. And we also wanted to have more than one scenario. So there's actually 4 scenarios in there. So this has good replayability. And within those scenarios, there's replayability. So it's a wonderful package. It's a full combat package, but it doesn't have all the chrome of the 4 games you see on the shelf behind me: Eastern Front, Tunisia, Sicily, Crete, Blitzkrieg. They're loaded with chrome that you can add on. This doesn't have that, but that's all in a sense optional. You're getting all the basics. There's a pair drop scenario. There is an introductory scenario. If you've never played combat, go to scenario 3. It's the introductory one. And then scenario 1 is the historical American attack. My favorite is scenario 2, where you are the Germans against this historical American attack. You will get beat. So the victory conditions are based on how badly do you get beat. I love that scenario.
VT Biker had asked, what's the best way to approach the Brecourt game? Do you read the general rules first or the game-specific rules?
Oh, the general rules, the series rules. You have to know the series rules or the game-specific rules, which are very small. Again, this is introductory, very small, aren't going to make sense to you. So read the series rules first.
And one of the game-specific rules that's kind of new, the terrain elements, is the trench warfare. So how is that adding that into the combat system?
Well, we've always had trenches, but there was, of course, a historical trench there at the battle. Actually, it was an irrigation ditch. And this was the biggest challenge that we faced when we were rebuilding this game was, how do we make this work with history? And so we fought and manipulated. How do we make it work with history without having crazy rules about it? And so what we came up with is just a special rule for scenarios 1 or 2, I think, and 1 and 2. I think it's 1 paragraph, but because this is a historical action, we had to make this particular irrigation ditch or trench act like it did in history. And I really like the results, how we were able to keep it simple and yet get that feel and effect. But yeah, that makes a really fun focus, because as the Americans, you're trying to get into that trench and then fight your way down that trench. And so it adds a really new dimension to it.
One of the most common questions we get is, can you use the components like the cards and some like the confidence rules type things with Brecourt Manor? Absolutely.
If you own Eastern Front or Tunisia, Sicily, which will come out very shortly, you can use the cards and the orders markers from those games with it, because it's the same game system. And we did that intentionally. It's one game system. One question that I had been asked was, if I'm a veteran combat gainer, what value is there in getting Brecourt Manor? One of the biggest values is that beautiful map that Ethan made. And starting with Combat Elite, we are going to be including that map as part of the random scenario generator. So if you whiffed on getting Paper Wars 114 and you're rolling a random scenario with Elite and you go Paper Wars, you're going to say, I was an idiot. How did I miss that? And your wife will say, yeah, I could have touched that along.
Well, that answers part of one of my other questions, is if this one's going to be included in their scenario generators. Are any of the order of battles, any of the units going to be included in future ones?
Now, what we're going to do, okay, you've got paratroopers and second line Germans, rear area Germans. And that's what we did, because that was the one, the historical battle. But they're 5/8 inch counters. And I've already, had some older gentlemen tell me that they're too small for them. There's nothing we can do about that. But in Combat Elite, we're going to have full American paratrooper orders of battle, not just the limited mix in Brecourt. We're also going to have a full British paratrooper order of battle. You can see them there. And we're going to have a full German SS order of battle. Now, we're currently playing an Elite game, so all I have are some samples here, okay? And so we've got Private Kuhn and Lürsen. Anyway, in Combat Elite, we're going to have full orders of battle for all of those elite groups: German SS, American paratroopers, British paratroopers. And so as part of the Elite package, we want to have scenarios for the Brecourt Manor action with the full counters, and then also some scenarios for the Arnhem maps with the British counters too, to help you guys who have the Arnhem game to be able to use those gorgeous maps with the full British OOB. So there will be expansion possibilities built within the confines of Combat Elite for the Brecourt Manor map. Plus the random generator, of course.
Somebody had asked if Ethan is making maps for non-Hinkle games now.
No, he's only made maps for us collaborating and working together, and I think we're all pretty happy with that. It's wonderful working with these guys, I'm telling you.
Phoebe's been working on a lot of different non-combat games for us, though.
Yes,
There's a lot of this. The Hinkle fam's getting around.
Yeah, Phoebe's White Death is coming out soon, and she did gorgeous work on that.
Pirate Hunter just got turned in for you guys who played Golden Age of Piracy, the next one in that series, and Phoebe worked on that one too. Will you be at Compass Expo demoing games?
I would like to be. Would love to be, but there are financial constraints, so we'll see where that comes down to. Come November. We'd love to be there though. Well, thank you, Dan. Very kind of you. Appreciate it. I love playing these games. We make them fun and we enjoy playing them, and that's part of the compulsion that just keeps us going. There's a vision to complete the next game and just to build a series. I'm telling you guys, I've been a gamer for 50 years now, and this series that is being created with Combat is just a stunning thing. Once you have the perspective we have of tying it all together and doing the campaign games, wow. I love the game. Thank you, Dan. Very kind of you.
For any other special rules that you'd like to highlight for 114?
You know, we for the Prairie Court Manor, we intentionally kept out special rules again because it's a introductory game. We had to have the trench rule, and I'm looking at it. It's exactly one paragraph about
It's
that
very
big.
short.
So kudos to us for doing that well. Scenario 4 is a nighttime paradrop scenario. Simple rules for it. The Americans are coming down. You're the Germans. You're trying to hunt them out during the night. But very simple rules. So there's really not special rules, just because we did want to keep it simple there. Now, Vietnam is chock full of special rules, and you have to. Many of which are optional, but some are very much necessary for the nature of the combat there.
That's a good question. Any other series you want to get your hands on?
Yes, yes, very much so. Now, Mr. Thomas, the esteemed and fearless leader of Compass Games, has us redoing the Victory Games Fleet series. So Phoebe and I will be collaborating on that. When I say redo, it's just going to be bring the graphics up into the 2020s and send it out. Those games do not need fixed. So we will be doing that by assignment. I have some series of my own that I want to launch out to, including a large strategic level World War II in Europe to start out with. And and some other things too. What else do I have for series? That's good enough. But yes, I have a long wish list of designs and places that I would like to go to. Poagon. Yeah, that's coming soon. We'll get to that. I'll let Brittany take us to that.
Combat Pacific, one more before that. Yeah, Combat Pacific.
Combat Pacific, absolutely. We're going to do. We're done with Vietnam. We're starting play testing Combat Elite, which will be done by the end of the year. We've been actually working on that in the background for many months. After Combat Elite, we're going to go to Combat 1985. He's in an 80s 82nd Airborne uniform. This is Ethan's thing. Combat 1985, Cold War goes hot, starts on August 4th. I've read the book. I read it when I was young. I know when this thing happens. August 4th, 1985, Cold War goes hot, and we're going to give you the opportunity to play West German, British, American, or Soviet troops. And so after Combat 1985, we will do Pacific. That will be the next one. We're gathering research materials for Pacific. So this isn't theoretical. It's going to happen. And after Pacific, we will do Combat Korea. Thank you, whoever.
All right, now a transition over to Poagon because it ties into this question. Can we lock Matthew in a room until it's finished? Which it is, mostly. And then another person asked if you would ever work on a non-historical sci-fi, fantasy, pulp, or monster game. And the answer to both of those questions, yes.
Yes, Poagon is a table. I call it a tabletop role-playing game. It's role-playing without needing a game master. And this is my personal favorite game of all my games. And we as a family have been playing it for 6 years. It's very well play tested. We're going to rework some of the rules. So what the components Brittany's showing you here are going to stay the same, but you've got geomorphic tiles. You'll create a whole different world every time you play. The thesis, the storyline is you are someone who's down on your luck. You've sold what little bit you had, and you're coming to Poagon because you heard a rumor of treasure and your life falling apart in your home world, whether the crops failed or the Bill Thomas Raiders came from across the border and burned your village or whatever it may be. And so you're coming to Poagon and you're interacting with the denizens of Poagon, seeking treasure. You can encounter dwarves, travelers, priests, pilgrims, goblins, ogres, giants, krakens, spiders, all sorts of things. You can elves, sprites, yeah, all that good stuff. And ultimately, as you go through, thieves are nasty. Thieves are very nasty. Ultimately, as you go through the land, you set your eyes on becoming the new king of this land. And so the winner is the person who becomes strong enough to dethrone the current king of Poagon and become the new king. Fantastic game, endless replayability because everything is randomly determined in all your interactions. You have plenty of decisions to make, so you're not a victim of circumstances, but it's a great one. I'm going to give this as a plug. Okay, my wife is a non-war gamer. We tried once in the 90s with the standard combat series, real simple stuff. It did not last more than half an hour. So she is not a war gamer. Poagon is her favorite game. So that's a plug for all you guys that might have children or wives or friends that really aren't into this wargaming stuff, that they can answer that. Thank you. Yeah, I got to support the games. Got to support the games. Yeah, Poagon is delightful, though. We'll be working through the final edits and hopefully get that in the queue very soon. Plague counters, famine counters, lots of nasty stuff to come your way.
Yeah, you are one of the most responsive people on BGG.
What's that, Brittany?
Oh, somebody had commented about your support on BGG being so great, and I agree.
Yeah, thank you. Got to help people out. The rules are pretty clean, but I write rules differently than someone reads them, so I'm always there to support. Yeah.
People are always demanding raises for us.
Oh, geez.
Well, that's a fun question. What was the first war game you ever played?
Origins of World War II. Origins of World War II. Bought it at a Globe store. Globe was a chain back like something like Walmart or Target long ago, and bought it for like $8. So I loved history and I loved games, so this was great. Then you got the little catalog in there. Wow, all this stuff exists. Okay, and it's never stopped from there.
Can you solo play Poagon?
You can, yeah, and we've done it. We've done it. In fact, one of the most fun things we like to do is just a solo game with 6 characters, because when you're doing one character, which you certainly can do, you lose some of the competition feel, but you can solo with 6 characters, and then there is that competition feel. Yeah, absolutely. And Poagon, it has an easy game, an intermediate game, and a hard game. And we love the hard game, but those options are there because you don't always survive a hard game. Usually you do, but not always. Endlessly replayable, though.
All right. Somebody had asked, who was that? Oh, Eric Fargo had asked about your transition as editor for Paper Wars, how that's going.
Trying to get comfortable with the role, actually. And especially with juggling all the other projects that I'm involved in. It's just like playing whack-a-mole every day. What's the latest project I have to get into? And then, I left that one behind a week ago. And where was I with that project? So I'm trying to get a system, get into a groove, but it'll happen. I worked for the post office all my life and was a postmaster. And every new assignment, there's always an adjustment period of getting used to people and procedures. So I've been through this many times in life. It'll get there. Looking forward to it though, and already done quite a bit of work for Paper Wars.
Yep, you just your first issue's in artwork now, right? So that's the B-52
Yes.
game with Gregory Smith.
It's in artwork right now, and we're looking at what articles to put in and how to arrange it. So yeah, we're getting there. Building a lot of lore for Poagon Yes, and because it is a role-playing game. You roll up a character, and that character is you. You can do a weepy 10-page backstory if you really want to. And we often have weepy backstories, but they're usually not 10 pages. But yes, it's a very full world, and you will get out of it what you put into it. So when we play, there's lots of interaction with the denizens of the land and with each other where necessary. But it is a very full world indeed.
David Myler had said the tiles remind him of Magic Realm. Are there any similarities with Pogon?
That's hard for me to answer. I haven't played Magic Realm since like 1981, so I hardly remember it. I remember it was a great game. It mystified a lot of people, but I was able to figure out and I loved it. I just don't remember it well. Yes, Magic Realm, as I recall, had hexagonal tiles. Our tiles are 8-inch by 8-inch squares, but they're fully geomorphic. They're actually more geomorphic than the hexagonal because we allow more ways for you to put them together. You move from space to space on the tiles. As I recall, Magic Realm had that too. And you have one character. So in that sense, they're similar. But beyond that, I just don't remember for a comparison.
Will there be a combat magazine in the future? That was a fun discussion.
Well, yeah. We had originally wanted to do that, but after talking to El Jefe, the great one, we've decided at this point to go a different direction and put combat articles in Paper Wars, since it's the house magazine for Compass Games, and then do some expansions. So once we get through Korea, Combat Korea, that will be 9 full games, standalone games, all on their own. And at that point, we've largely exhausted the major nationalities, the major wars. So then we're going to look at doing some expansions for that. Partisans, Aussies in the Vietnam War, Republic of Korea troops in the Vietnam War, Hungarians, Finns, Dutch. There's an awful lot that we could do and try to bundle them together to give it more value. So I think that's the direction we're going now, and it's a good direction. I was looking at it as a gamer, and I said, I think I would like that. So El Jefe was right, as always.
Will Riley asked if you could tell us anything about the Western Front game.
6 maps. Won't just be Western Front. We're talking all of World War II, 39 to 45. Are we talking about combat or the big strategic game?
I was thinking the big strategic game, but
Okay,
I might be wrong.
strategic game. 6 mapper, and it will be largely divisional scale, comparable in its way to War in Europe, the old SPI game. Okay, so in scale, but that was 9 maps. We got to scale it down a little. Nobody in their right mind can do 9 maps. I have a whole wall I can play on. I play vertical games, and I can't even do 9 maps. But we want to keep it with World War II strategic games. It seems like you have extremes. You've got the game that is 50 miles to the hex. Okay, so France is like 5 or 6 hexes, and yet somehow it has 300 pages of rules, and you're dealing with thermoses that are issued to colonels, and you're dealing with the fins on torpedoes, and just ridiculous bits of minutia. Or you've got the ultra simplistic ones where Germany is 3 zones, and you're using 1 block for an entire army group to attack Germany with. And there are just very few games that have that War in Europe sweet spot in the middle, that aren't ridiculous with complexity or ultra simplistic. So that's what I'm aiming for, a playable monster game of World War II in Europe. And I would be really excited to get after that, because it's something I've longed for years and just have not found.
Have you ever thought about doing a scenario book for combat with just scenarios that cover multiple editions?
Well, every combat game, we've kind of done a standard 11 scenarios. And within each of those 11 scenarios, there's a lot of replayability options, especially as the system grows. So, for instance, in Blitzkrieg, the 4th game in the series, we've kind of sealed the main nationalities with that game. We've got the Polish and the French, but we have options in there. Hey, if you have Combat Crete, you can play this with the British against the Germans, in northern France. There's all sorts of options like that. But a scenario book, it might be a possibility, but kind of what I'm looking at in the future is just putting extra scenarios in Paper Wars, especially once Blitzkrieg gets released, because at that point we have 7 nationalities to work with. And I'm doing my research about the American paratroopers, and I'm finding some nice actions of American paratroopers against Italians and different things like that, that now we would have the means to put those together. That's kind of where I'm going now, is putting, extra scenarios as part of each Paper Wars issue to get, or many Paper Wars issues to kind of get more scenarios flowing. Others can do it too, by the way. Others can write. No combat 1918. It's just not, it's a different level type of combat. Yes, the Germans had their Stoßtruppen, but you're really getting the squad level combat evolved for the Second World War and ever since.
So on the submissions note, do you want to do are there any articles you're looking for?
For Paper Wars, always looking for articles for the next issue forward. Now, we've got enough articles here for 118, which has Greg's B-52 linebacker solo game. The next one after that is Luxembourg, which is a World War I game, is it not, Brittany?
I will double check, but I'm pretty sure you're right.
Yeah.
And so what I would be looking at and would welcome for submissions, do you have a favorite Compass game that is set in World War I? Because Bill loves World War I. And so he's done a lot of World War I games, Compass has. And if you have a favorite, write an article about your favorite, a variant, a strategy, an analysis about your favorite World War I game that from Compass that I can look at putting in issue number 119. You'll get a free copy of the magazine that your article's in, so you'll get a great game about Luxembourg and World War I and the court intrigues that are involved there. Yeah, here we go.
Correct. Yeah, I just posted the intro blurb for everybody to read on their own.
Okay, you're awesome, Brittany. Thank you. And so that's kind of where I'm going, is looking, one step ahead. Games that are themed towards that overall theme. I was a fan of the Avalon Hill General back in the day, in the 70s and the 80s, and that's how they did it. And I really liked that. You had, of course, a focus game, but then you had games that were of the same ilk, of the same time era in it, so that the magazine had a broader overall focus. And then there were always a few extra games thrown in too, which gave it variety. And so that if you weren't interested in Ancients, you weren't just out of luck because everything was about Ancients. And once Squad Leader took off, there was always Squad Leader in there. So anyway, I always liked that presentation. So that's kind of the way we're going, is a focus around it, but with extra stuff too, to give value to anyone that's involved.
And then after that World War I game, we've got Joe Miranda's Operation Condor. So that's going to Vietnam. And then the next one after that is Cortez. So you got quite a variety, guys, if you're into anything that's tied to any of those time periods. And you can just email Mathew, M-A-1-T, M-A-T-H-E-W @compassgames.com.
Yep, 1T. And sell me your ID or send me the article, whatever.
All right. So, anything else that you would like to talk about with games that are kind of on pre-order right now that maybe we haven't had a chance to talk to you about? I think we talked about Tunisia and Sicily quite a bit. We haven't talked about Crete as much.
No, we haven't. Crete, it kind of. Oh, it's on pre-order, of course. Crete, it brings in the British order of battle, but it's not just for the Crete landings. It's for the entire war, 39 to 45. And so there's a focus there, and the focus is on Crete and also Leros. And so the adversaries to the British in this are the German Fallschirmjäger. And it's more than just a curiosity thing. The Fallschirmjäger, if you know World War II, the German paratroopers fought all through the war as ground troops. And so this is a major German order of battle that needed to be represented beyond the Crete landings. And so Crete has the usual 4 maps. All of the scenarios are set either on Crete or on Leros. However, the random scenario generator covers the whole war. It was a blast to play test it. There is a massive paradrop scenario where you put all 4 maps together and your Germans are coming down. And it is an incredible experience because you will get shot up and torn up, but you will usually win. Now, you say, I don't have room for 4 maps. I understand that. We're accommodating people, aren't we, Bill? Yes, absolutely. And so we have 1 and 2 map options also, so that you're not left out of the paradropping fun. That scenario also has an option where if you have Tunisia and Sicily, you can drop Italian Folgore troops onto Malta and have an Italian paradrop on Malta in 1942. Okay, it didn't happen, but they planned it, so it's a lot of fun to play. You have Cretans in this too. And so there's a scenario where the Germans are dropping on your Cretan village, and the Cretan villages are rising up to top this thing. A very fun scenario. So you've got Australians, you've got New Zealanders, you've got Maoris from the 28th Regiment. That's a really fun scenario. They're doing a pre-dawn attack, and there's no quarter. There's no quarter. So it's got a German glider drop where they're trying to seize the airfield and attacks on hill positions. It's got 2 scenarios set in Leros in 43, but it does introduce the Commonwealth order of battle into the combat system, and also the German Fallschirmjäger, essential to have.
Any talk about doing mounted map sets?
We have not talked about it. Those are big boxes. You'd make an even bigger box. And
too big and too heavy.
Yeah, too big, too heavy. Works well for me.
How finished does an article for Paper Wars need to be?
I do any final editing. Okay, so I don't want to change anyone's sentiments. I do not like doing that, but there's still an understanding that everyone is not as exacting a writer as others are. So I'll check punctuation, spelling, and all of that. Occasionally, I will put in explanatory words to help with the understanding. I don't want notes, though. I don't want notes. I've had enough of working off of notes to try to cobble things together. So doesn't have to be thoroughly finished and polished, but it should be coherent. Hopefully that will answer. If we have other questions, that's great, Brittany, or otherwise I'll be happy to talk about Combat Blitzkrieg too.
Yeah, let's go to Combat Blitzkrieg.
Okay.
I will pull it up.
Yeah, Combat Blitzkrieg is kind of the icing on the cake. This really is the 4 core games for combat in Europe. Of course, Eastern Front, you got the Soviets, Germans. Tunisia, Sicily, you get the Italians and the Americans. And again, as I've said before, with Tunisia, Sicily, those are Italians, Americans for the whole war, not just for Tunisia and Sicily. We already talked about Crete. Now, in Blitzkrieg, you're getting early war Germans, 39 and 40, who are different from the later war Germans in Eastern Front. You're also getting Poles, the 1939 Poles, and you are getting the French. The French also to morpho for into Vichy. So these can be used as Vichy French. So yes, we have scenarios with the French against the Americans in Morocco and Algeria. And so not there's options within the game to do that, but we've played them, put it that way. And so this is the capstone. This is the icing on the cake, because this finishes the last two major power nationalities in Europe in World War II, and lets you tie everything together to be able to play any combat from 39 to 45 with those 7 major power nationalities. It's introduces armor. The armor rules come in with Blitzkrieg. That was intentional, because, as I said, this is the icing on the cake. This is what ties it all together. And so, can I go on a rant, Brittany? Is it allowed?
You go for it. You have.
Okay, I want to go on a rant. I want to go on a rant here for anyone who has anything negative or bad to say about Bill Thomas. Okay, I have been in on the production meetings for Compass Games, and over, I have seen Bill Thomas make decisions for the gamers, on behalf of the gamers. We need to add this in because it'll help the gamers, it'll benefit the gamers, and yet he doesn't add on to the cost that was already announced. It's for the gamers. And he doesn't add on those tariff taxes that shouldn't be added on anymore because the tariffs aren't there anymore. Sorry, just got that email today. Okay, and so let's just combat Blitzkrieg. Case in point. Ethan had come up with a lot of extra tanks, and we said, well, we could put them in this module later on. What does Bill Thomas do? He makes the decision. No, put those 2 extra counter sheets in Blitzkrieg, because that will benefit the gamers. That's what the gamers want. And we're not going to put them in a later module. Well, Bill, aren't you going to raise the price then? No, that's what we put out there. This is for the gamer. So, guys, seriously, he really cares. He wants Compass Games to put out quality products. He wants to do the best. He's a gamer. He knows what it's like. And he wants to do the best for us, the gamers, too. So, there it is. Thank you, Bill, for all you do for the company and for the game industry, and for gamers like me also. Anyway, so we have extra tanks now that were not originally planned, that are part of Blitzkrieg. and so you're going to have a very full scope of tanks, anti-tank guns, anti-tank weapons in Combat Blitzkrieg that are entirely, you can entirely retrofit them with any previous games or any future games. They're all going to work together. Blitzkrieg adds flamethrowers, barricades, a level 3 church, and an incredible city map. And you had pulled that up, Brittany, but that city map, it took Ethan a whole month of very hard work to do, because he doesn't come up with these maps out of his head. He studies historical maps. He studies historical buildings and mimics them and copies them. And so this map, part of it's based on a Polish city and part of it's based on a French city, but it's European. And this is a delight to fight over. In the armor, there's an armor rules supplement that comes with Blitzkrieg. And there's a scenario in it, scenario 6, we call it Aachen Apocalypse. And you're set in Aachen, Germany in October of 44. And this place is demolished. There's rubble, there's fire everywhere. It's Germans against Americans. Tanks are prowling the streets. And it's a great fun to play that. Several other scenarios that use this map as well. But so we've got some, obviously 4 new maps. Blitzkrieg is an incredibly full package. As I said, icing on the cake on the top of the combat system. Elite, it's 3 new orders of battle, but their nationalities you've all seen. They're important orders of battle, and so they needed to be addressed, but they're the cherry. Elite is the cherry on top.
I love this one. If Ethan fails out of school, I'm going to feel partially responsible now. Well, the nice thing is he's going to school for this, like not directly, but indirectly. I'm sure you're gonna be able to make some game projects work as school projects.
Well, we've homeschooled, and so we always got to work homeschooling around combat or combat around homeschooling. I think that was supposed to have how it goes. But anyway, he's doing well. He's a good student. Other questions? I'm here. Answer
Anything
away.
else for our good friend here, Matthew? I have one. So one of the combat games, and I can't remember which one it is now because I've looked at them all, has a scenario in it that covers Korea. So like when you're working on a game, what makes you think, or what inspires you to say, oh, like these orders of battle could also work for this other thing. We're just going to include it in there.
It was Eastern Front. Eastern Front that had that. And part of the reason I put that in is, okay, Eastern Front is the first game of the series. And it's, those of you who have played it, you know, it's absolutely packed full of value. I don't know of anyone who's played through all 11 scenarios yet. But we're still looking for more value. How much more blood can we squeeze out of this turnip? And so I put in an option there to you be able to use Eastern Front if you have Combat Volume 1 to be able to mesh them together. Now, the problem with Combat 1 with that is if you're the Americans, you have to play the Americans. They can't be the enemy. All the games we've done, you can play either side. But then I said, okay, well, you could use the Soviet soldiers to represent North Koreans, Communist Chinese. I just gave a little option in there. It's not much. I didn't spend time on it, but we tried to build as much value as we can into each game. And so in looking at Eastern Front, I was saying there's only one volume yet. But what value can I build into that? Now, when we're doing other later scenarios like Blitzkrieg especially, we're looking back at Crete, Tunisia, Sicily, Eastern Front. So there's far more I can do as far as options of building in, hey, you can have this scenario set in the south of France in June of 1940 and the Italians are attacking the French. Different things like that. As it grows, you're just going to see more and more of that.
And it's just stacking more and more. So each one still has the same or similar number of scenarios that use just what's in the box.
Absolutely.
You're just getting more that stacks before. I just don't want to be thinking, oh, like once you get to Blitzkrieg, you have to have all the previous ones. No. Nope. Plenty to play with in each
Every game is standalone. Every game scenarios use only what is in that box. But if I have room, which I often do, I will put options. You want to add this on. You want to add this on. You have Tunisia and Sicily. You can add this on. But everything is totally standalone.
This is a big question for the 4 minutes that we have left with you. What is your biggest challenge as a game designer?
Game designer. Oh, boy. I can tell you as game developer, but we don't want to go there, do we?
Now in 4 minutes.
No. Game designer, I really wouldn't. Elegance. One of the ways I know I'm going astray is when there's too many rules, too many fiddly rules. That tells me I'm going astray. It's time to back off and rethink the thing. I want it to flow. I want it to be understandable. I'm a gamer. I've been doing war games for over 50 years. I've been in the seat of reading hundreds of game rules, and I want them to be understandable. I want them to flow. That's my biggest challenge is the elegance. I hardly a better word that I can do for that then. Modern war and the combat system. Well, at the farthest we're going to go is 1985. I'm telling you that already. So that's the farthest we're going to go, and we'll see when we get there. But, we made Vietnam work, and we made it work well. And so I have every confidence we can do it without needing a subsystem of the game or a different game. I really believe we can do it. I have enough design experience and game playing experience. I don't feel I'm launching into new territory here when I do this. Okay. The random scenario generators in any given game. There's initial random scenario generator that just has what is in that box. So again, you are never left out if you only own that game. but I also always include an extended random scenario generator that includes everything that has been published previously in the combat system, including volumes 1 and volume 2. And so, and let's say you only own 3 of the games, and you roll up a random scenario, and the map is one you don't have. Well, just re-roll it, because you have with 3 games, you have a good amount to work with. It's just as you add on to the games, it's just going to expand it more and more, the possibilities. We just did a campaign game in our Vietnam game because we wanted to test things. We have really fully play tested this. We were an ARVN squad, Army of the Republic of Vietnam, an ARVN squad in 1972. And we used the entire gamut of combat maps up to this time, which for us is a lot. And for those scenarios, so we had them from volume 1. We used maps from volume 1, volume 2. I think there was one from Crete. So we rolled them up from all over the place, and we're able to make them work with a little imagination. And there's some guidance in there too. But the point is, the more it's a massive system, and the more you have of the system, the richer you're going to find it. Hope that answered the question. I should be playing Poagon tonight, by the way. We as a family love Poagon. And so, I will be playing that after we're done here. You're muted, Brittany.
I said, thank you for joining us, Matthew. Guys, if you have any more questions for Matthew after the live stream ends, just post them in the Facebook group, and I'll send them over to him and get you answers.
Yeah, absolutely. Always glad to help. Thank you all very much.
Thank you. Bye.
So, how do you follow that?
Yeah, I don't know.
You
I got nothing.
you can't follow that. But what I'm sitting back here thinking is, my God, what a group of people I have in Compass. Okay, and I'm not all the designers, all the people that work at Compass, all the customers. What a great group of people. And somebody said to me, okay, you're really horrible at this. Okay, some customers said to me that I'm really horrible at these town halls. And I said to Bill, he's absolutely right. I am horrible. Okay, I know it. And Bill knows it. Okay. People say the show should be more, okay, when I look at Matthew is above and beyond, it just shows how horrible I really am. Okay, because he is so articulate, he knows what he's doing, and he is unbelievable. The guy never pauses. He never says he never looks. He is a great communicator. Okay, and yes, I actually called the guy up who wrote that post, and I said, you're absolutely correct. I am horrible at this. Okay, I don't know if it's not a very comfortable situation for me. That's not what I do. Okay, but the other thing is I said to him, I go, but if I don't get out there and do it, I weigh the benefits and the pros and cons. And the pro is I get to talk to my customers. They have access to me like it's a live show. Okay, I don't know if anybody that does live shows like we do, even on TV, it's not scripted where the audience are asking questions. Okay, so I can be better. Okay, I know that. I get a lot of things I don't plan, but you look at what happened tonight, and this is why Compass, okay, is where we're at today. It's taken us a long time to get here, and I have a team of people. The designers, and it's just not Matthew. My God, every designer we have, whether it's Ross Martell, Greg Smith, John Southard, I could name them all, okay, are so important to us that I really saw tonight with this thing. It really made me very emotional because I saw that we are really where I always wanted to be. Except we weren't. Okay, so I'll tell you, I think it's a fabulous company, and the people I've met through this, and I had some issues with customers. Okay, and people say I rant a lot, and I do, but that's the entertainment I give. Okay, but I had people, when people say negative stuff on Facebook and stuff, I look up and find their phone numbers if I can, and I call them, and because I want to talk one-to-one with them, and I don't know if anybody who calls their customers like that. Okay, but so yeah,
I think that's a good point. I don't know many owners that come out and talk to people, do this. Like most of them have they'll have someone talk
scripted.
for them. No, or they'll have someone talk on their behalf or something. But like you come out and you ask the questions and stuff and answer them, and like someone said, twice a month it's unheard of. I don't know, even outside of this industry, I don't know many people that do that. I don't know you see in the sports, how many sports owners go out and talk to people? Very few.
Yeah.
How many and not only that, but go out and it's open to everybody. It's not like a closed door thing. It's open to everyone. So I don't know. Yeah, could things we could tone down or do a little better? Sure, but at the end of the day, I don't know. Like someone said, I don't know if you should sell yourself any shorter than
Well, no, don't. This actually shows how ridiculous I am.
Yeah, but you speak. You
But-
don't speak bad either.
But here's but the other thing too is some people yeah, I don't know if people I don't yeah. Update on Korean War. Yes. It's actually in the warehouse. So like I said, I'm just happy that we have everybody that we have working for us. I shout out to everybody who is part of this organization because it is everybody, and it is the customers. Okay. And yeah, it is the customers that make up Compass, and I appreciate you. And yeah, we might disagree on stuff. Okay. And what I find is the more you guys ask me questions, okay, and look, I like to stay within Compass. Okay. I don't like to get into politics. I don't, and I don't think anybody really knows what side of the I'm all over the place. So I don't know if anybody really knows what side I'm on. Okay, because you might think you do, but you might not think because I'm all over the place. Okay, but like I said, I love answering questions. I love you guys asking them, and I have a designer that wants me that he said, well, I don't like the format of it. It's not rigid. It doesn't have, you just go on, it's all over the place. And I go, but that's what I do. Okay, I don't want that. And he understands it. So at the end of the day, Matthew is a great guy. His family, right?
Yep.
His family is unbelievable. And like I said, and that doesn't sell anybody else short. Okay, because all my designers do a great job. And like I said, now that we're in the second round with all these designers, the games are just even better. And we're learning every day, and we appreciate everybody coming on. So with that, I'm going to end it because this is long. What are we giving up?
I don't know. I'm guessing a combat game since we just did Matthew.
We're going to give out a combat game?
Or you do Warriors of America. I don't know. If we had a whole theme going. Don't throw off the theme.
I would do.
What would you do, Bill? Bill calls it. Everybody likes to spend money.
I'd do 114.
No, he's in front.
No, 114.
Okay, Bill said 114 because he talked about that, and it gets people into the game.
All right, so in my 5 seconds, if you see the ticker at the bottom, I really need Ancients and Sci-Fi playtesters. So if you guys are interested in Ancients or Sci-Fi games, please sign up to be a playtester. Congratulations to Brian McClure over on YouTube. Send us an email, sales@compassgames.com with tonight's episode number, and we will get your game sent out. Anything else, Bill?
No, that's what I do.
Yeah, we'll do Warriors for America.
Oh, we're going 2.
Maybe two. Can't remember.
Yes, I actually thought about that. He is very well dressed.
Yeah, he is.
Okay. And
Every time he comes on, he's got a suit. He's got a shirt and tie.
yes, he's very
The
well
last
dressed.
time.
And what people don't understand is, and Bill could, my God, I wore a suit and tie every day of my life. But now I wear
40
shorts.
years.
Yeah, but now I wear shorts and I don't dress up. But I thought about that doing a tie.
Suit, tie, yeah, you good.
Yeah, but
40
Oh,
years.
Danny Sakara, we know him.
Yeah.
can I ask about Burning Banner expansion, or is that a future? No, Burning Banner should be on Kickstarter in what, October?
Yeah, that's the current hope.
Oh yeah, the kids are very well mannered. His kids are,
Very talented too.
they're a very talented family. So I think they're great at what they do, and they do. So okay, we gave 2 games away,
We did.
and what other things? We don't have anything else.
We have tons, but we'll have to do it in 2 weeks.
Yeah, because he comes on, and then
It was worth it.
I used to wear a tie. Yeah, no. Okay, thanks a lot for coming, and have a good one.
Thanks all. Bye.
Bye.